What's up? Back for another video, and this time I'm going to encourage you to never live with in-laws. All right, look, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, never live with in-laws. I'm going to share a few stories with you to prove my point. First of all, if you are to live with an in-law, and let's say it's the mother, it's always better that the mother, it's the mother of the wife or your partner, not your mother, the mother of the son, right? So, anyways, story. One of my work colleagues, right? He decided to have the mother of his wife move in with them because they felt bad. And by the way, man, there are so many elderly parents that will play and play on your empathy so that you feel sorry for them. I understand in some situations where the parent doesn't have the money for long-term care facility and it's becoming a little dangerous, right? With like they're getting amnesia, all these things, cognitive issues. You got to figure that out. And you'll hear these two stories and then you can decide for yourself, okay? So my one work colleague, he tells me out of the blue, this just happened a couple weeks ago. He's like, hey, look, I just have to share this. So his wife's mother moved in with them, right? Because a long-term care facility would have cost her more than that she brings in per month. So originally they thought this was a great idea, right? So the bickering and the nagging and the back and forth between the two women, right, got so bad that he told me that he just recently sat them down on a couch and he sat down with the two of them and said, look, if we're all going to live together, you two ladies need to work this out. Stop bickering because it's pissing me off, right? And women, an elderly woman and a younger woman, it's constant fucking fighting. And so that's one situation, one story. My other story is I love my mother, my own mother. I made a critical mistake in my marriage. My father passed away 8 years ago. When he passed away, she was married to him for almost 40 years. So that's all she knew for 40 years, right? Now she's alone. So she, okay, to her defense, she was lonely, but I felt a lot of pressure and my empathy took over. So my then wife and I moved into her place temporarily. We rented our house and we said, look, we'll move in with you, keep you company, and we'll figure this out somehow. So then she ended up selling her house and we ended up getting a house together and we rented it. And it wasn't like a nanny suite situation or whatever. So then we renovated our own house with basically a nanny suite, but not a separate entrance. My then ex-wife, what I wanted to do is I wanted to sell our house and buy a house with a separate entrance, a nanny suite. So by the way, that's the only exception where living with the in-laws is a good idea, where they have their own nanny suite. I understand there's some situations where the person is losing their mind. I'm not amnesia, but like, I can't remember the word. I'm like recording this video and I don't, and I'm like, so anyways, the cognitive abilities have diminished, right? And it become dangerous. They leave the stove on, that kind of stuff. So I understand it gets a little complicated. But at very least, if you can have a nanny suite to some degree. So my mother moves in with us with this house that we renovated, and she's fallen down the stairs a few times and all that stuff. So my point is this. The fucking nagging between the two women, oh my God, drove me crazy. In fact, it got so bad to the point where my then ex-wife, we couldn't go away sometimes for the weekend and she'd be upset because we left her alone. We had dogs and she wanted to have some company with the dogs. They weren't her dogs, they were my ex-wife's dogs and our dogs. and she would get upset if we took one of the dogs with us. It was just a constant tension, constant complaining, where the ex-wife would complain about my mother, about, so she does this or she leaves this around or whatever, or my mother coming to me privately and going, oh, I can't believe your wife uses the same scissors to cut this when those scissors are for food. Like, just a fucking little annoying fucking things. And it drove me crazy, absolutely mad. And my work colleague has shared the same story with me about the two women in his household. And I will just tell you, if you're thinking of having the in-laws, or one of the in-laws or both the in-laws move in with you, I'm just doing this video specifically to give you some warnings on that. It is not a good idea unless they have their own entrance. And even then, one last story, my parents bought two homes right beside each other. And the other home was for my mother's parents. And my mother's parents there was constant issues with them either coming to the house, to her house uninvited, knocking on the door, asking for something, or complaining about where the fence is and other neighbors, or, oh my God. So, man, I tell you, I cannot stress enough to really, really give that some thought on the in-laws. And I know some cultures, that's what they do: East Indian culture, Middle East, Asian culture, Latin culture, where they bring in the in-laws. And I'm just saying, man, it's a fucking disaster. It's a disaster. Trust me. And it's even worse if it's the mother of the son and now the wife has to deal with that mother. Oh, no wife is ever good enough to the mother, just to let you know. To the mother of the son, no wife is ever good enough. So the bickering back and forth, and who's the matriarch in the home, the older woman tries to implement some things with the younger one and complaining, like, oh, to the younger one, oh, why don't you cook? Why don't you clean up? Why don't you take care of your man? All these things. And then the resentment and animosity is just so fucking bad. So I did this video to just encourage you, if you're thinking of the in-laws, or most importantly, drop a comment in the video if you actually are living with the in-laws and what that's actually like, to share that with the rest of the viewers, okay? So hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.